We live in a world obsessed with numbers. But for those who dare to live beyond them, there's infinity, an experience that can't be quantified. So stop counting and look beyond the numbers. Infinity, empower the drive.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are at the Master Control Center, one of the coolest rooms in Oman at the new Muscat International Airport. And I'm here with somebody special. His name is Mr. Lee Ebbutt, and he's the ICT advisor of the new airport. Mr. Lee, welcome to another edition of Coffee with Why.
Thank you very, very much.
So Mr. Lee, what is your role in the development of the new Muscat International Airport terminal?
Okay, so as you mentioned, I'm the ICT advisor for Oman Airports Management Company. We're a government company. We're responsible for the management of all the civil airports in the Sultanate of Oman, and currently we operate and maintain Muscat, Salalah, Duqm and Sohar airports. And my role as part of the Muscat International Airport project is, from an Oman Airport's point of view, making sure that the systems that we're being provided with are operationally fit for our end users, that the right information is given to the end users to allow them to perform their jobs, and the systems are integrated in a way that we can use that information in a productive way to improve the passenger experience and also our stakeholders' experience as well. So on top of that, I have to make sure, or the team have to make sure that I'm involved in that the end users are trained to use these systems. There's no good in delivering a system if the end user can't use the system in the way it should be.
Absolutely.
So we're making sure that the end users are trained, they're familiar with the environment, how to log on to systems, how to fix minor problems maybe, and then also to train our engineers on how to operate and maintain these systems to ensure we can provide the high availability to all our stakeholders and customers in the airport.
Oh, perfect. Now, we do know that you are in the trials phase of the new Muscat International Airport. So where exactly are you? And at the time of the interview, how many have you completed so far?
Okay, so to date, as we are today, we're at 15 trials. We have 12 more to go, and these trials are becoming more and more advanced as we move forwards. So we're putting more of the systems into play. We're putting more load onto these systems, which is really what the trials are about. The trials are about making sure that our processes and procedures are supplemented and supported by the systems being provided. So we're testing them with more people, more volume going through them to make sure they're stable and giving the customer the feel that they're having a good experience in our airport.
Absolutely. And are you a part of the trials as well?
Yeah, I mean, I take part in the trials from an observer point of view. I walk around the trials and follow the passenger flow through the trials to make sure that their journey is seamless, to make sure there's the interaction with the systems is a good experience for the end user and also for the passenger as well. So yeah, I am involved, not as a passenger, but as an observer to make sure that seamless flow is consistent.
All right. Now, Y Magazine has been inundated with messages about the trials, and they absolutely love it. And you are hoping this to be, or striving to make this one of the top 20 airports in the whole world. So what is your role in incorporating the systems, and what is unique to this airport than the other airports in Oman?
Well, my role is part of a much bigger ICT team, but we're looking at how we can evolve the airport from where we are today to achieve being top 20, one of the top 20 airports by 2020, which is obviously the Oman Airport's vision. And how we're doing that is we're building a technical infrastructure that is world class, is very highly available. We have a very high-speed Wi-Fi we're going to be putting into the new airport, which will help us to make sure that passengers have the right information at the right times. We can also share information with passengers outside of the airport. So we're looking at how we can use mobile devices to enhance the passenger experience outside of the airport so they can prepare for when they're here. But also giving our stakeholders and our own end users the information from all these different systems. So we're sat in the Master Control Center at the moment, and this is one of the heart of the airport. It's highly integrated. All the systems, the operational systems and maintenance systems are highly integrated to provide the end user with the ability to react dynamically to any incident within the airport, to ensure that when passengers are in the airport, they have a stress-free environment and can enjoy their journey all the way through.
All right. So now we are, as you stated, at the Master Control Center of the new airport. How is it different from the older airport's center?
Okay, so in the old airport we have a very small environment. the master control centre is split into three areas. We only have one area that is existing in the current airport, which is the airport operational centre, and the systems aren't integrated there. In this control centre here, we have ICT, maintenance, and our operations centre all working together. So they're dynamically working on a day-to-day basis, and all the systems are also integrated. So all the information coming from all the relevant systems is providing them with the information they need to be able to react to the operation in a very, very quick.
Okay. In short, you can say that it makes the life of you as well as your colleagues easier as well.
And in addition to that, you're right, it makes life easier for our colleagues, but also it makes sure that the passenger doesn't have to experience any downtime or any queues in the airport. We can highlight those in this master control centre very, very early and make sure that we increase the check-in desks or make sure the queue times are reduced by putting more people in place. So this really is the place where all the information comes to and is used in the operation as well.
Okay. The systems that you're incorporating here today, are they compliant with the international standards, or do you think, have you compromised anything?
No, we haven't compromised any way at all. In actual fact, I'd say we're actually leading in some areas. I mean, the systems we're actually putting into this airport have been benchmarked against many other airports in the world. Again, we're looking at this vision of being top 20 by 2020, and technology now is really driving that in all the top airports in the world. And we really want to be part of that as an IT and as an Oman aviation company as well. So we're trying to really drive technology in the airport. The systems we're putting in here are all world class. They've all been used in other airports before. We're enhancing these systems even further. And what we want to do is take it to the next level, where we're looking at automating and digitalising the airport as much as possible for our stakeholders and for our passengers as well. So it really will help us push to achieve our vision.
Absolutely. Certainly, one trend that we see with the trials in any airport is that you give scenarios. So are you firsthand involved in these scenarios, in creating the scenarios?
Okay, so from a scenario point of view, the ICT team, we support the major trials that you see in the airport with all the passengers coming in, but also behind the scenes, we have to make sure that our team are ready to be able to operate and maintain the systems as well. So we create some mini trials behind the scenes to make sure that the ICT team can achieve the service levels based on the type of faults we might get in the airport that are created or reported by our end users. So we do develop our own mini trials, and they probably don't see these trials. They're done on a regular basis behind the scenes, and it involves the ICT team and sometimes other members of other departments, because we may need their support to fix some of our faults. So yeah, these trials do go on behind the scenes, and we'll continue to do them all the way up into the opening, just to make sure that we're ready from an ICT point of view to be able to support the airport operation.
That's great. Mr. Lee, this is en route to becoming one of the newly opened airports in the region. How are you keeping up with the latest trends that you see worldwide?
No, I mean, we're always keeping an eye on the trends from an ICT point of view. And the majority of trends affect the passenger experience, so we really have to keep ahead of the game on this. And we're constantly looking to improve the experience of passengers as well throughout our airport. And the infrastructure that's being delivered by the project is allowing us to build on top of that the new technologies that are coming. So we're looking at things like how we can use mobility, so how we can push real-time information to our passengers outside the airport by mobile devices, so they can make decisions about when they get to the airport and what they do at the airport. So, for example, around queuing times, we can give them average queue times and maybe which lane to take even when they arrive at the airport. And then we're looking at paperless travel, so trying to digitalise the whole process in the airport. So we're making the passenger, when he arrives at the airport, maybe in the future we can use the face as his passport and his boarding pass. So now we're not carrying paper around. We can travel through the check-in, we can travel through security, and then we can board the aircraft using the face as a biometric to help us seamlessly improve the customer experience.
Now, are these systems that you talked about going to be incorporated at the start of the new airport, or is it coming, or is it en route?
No, I mean, our aim is to try and put as much as possible before the opening of the new airport, but we also have to balance that with the risk of introducing new technology. We're opening a fantastic new facility with new technology already, so we'll look to enhance that as we move forward. But hopefully by the end of next year, you'll see a lot of new initiatives coming in, hopefully before we open. But if not by the time we open, soon after, we'll keep introducing new initiatives that'll excite the passengers and also help them to enjoy their journey.
All right. But before we open, there absolutely has to be a lot more trials, I believe.
We've roughly got about 12 more trials. We're going to keep building on those trials, and part of these trials is to learn where we need to improve and what gaps we need to fill as well before we open the airport, to give us the comfort factor that we can support the passengers and the public of Oman. So we've got 12 more trials. We're going to keep building on those. We'll keep introducing more systems, and we'll keep trying to look at how we can make sure that from an operation point of view, when we open the airport, it'll be safe, secure, and a great experience for our passengers.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for your time.
No, thank you very much.
It was a pleasure talking to you.
And to you as well. Thank you.